Today we're visiting an Energy Star home, the homeowners who did their homework, and the builder who made the grade. I'm Lori Carson, and this is Home and Away. Welcome to Home and Away. Today we're visiting an Energy Star rated home on the west side of Lawrence, and joining me are the homeowners, Chris and Carol Armstrong. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Sure. It's our pleasure.
First question I've got to ask you, what made you decide to build a home in what was at the time a pretty dicey market?
The thing is that the reason we decided to build our own home, I mean, fortunately, we feel pretty fortunate to be able to do something like that. But secondly, that Carol and I had some specific ideas on what we wanted in a home where we could grow old, so to speak, and trying to keep everything on one level, and that was new, maintenance-free for many, many years to come.
Carol, before this, did the two of you consider yourselves energy conscious in a big way?
Well, not at all. We had done the normal things of recycling and what most people in Lawrence are probably doing in terms of conservation. But in the last few years, Chris had gotten very interested in ecology and the green movement, and so started to read up. But really, this was our first venture.
Chris, Carol lovingly the other day called you an energy nerd. So going from someone who wasn't very interested in the whole energy, you've really, a lot of that is self-education, but what made you described to me an incident that really kind of drove this home to you. Describe that.
Was it the word that I used in being cheap? Well, the truth is, I just don't want to spend any more money on anything that I have to. So we made a conscious decision that it might be a little more expensive up front to begin with, but I think the dividends will pay down the road. And not only that, but I mean, that's at energy costs at today's cost, and who knows what's going to happen in the future.
We're going to talk a lot about the energy efficient features and the technical aspects of those, but I don't want to ignore the aesthetics of your beautiful new home. And I have to tell you, Carol, we should let viewers know you've only been in here for 6 weeks. My hat's off to you for letting camera crew come in, and it sure doesn't look like that. It's beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about some of the aesthetic things that were important to you as we come into the beautiful great room. You've got a very open concept. Tell us a little bit about some of the features that were important in that great kitchen of yours.
Well, we wanted to have a floor plan that was open. Also, in building a smaller home, it was important to have many built-ins, and so we have quite a few bookshelves and cabinets and things like that to store. While our children aren't living here, we certainly wanted a place where they could come back to down the road with their families, and so we wanted the space upstairs to be easy for us to live on one level, but the lower level has several bedrooms and a large room as well, so that in years to come, when they have families of their own, they can come back and enjoy it with us.
So many people listening are going to so relate to what you just said. That's very common and very true. Chris, I know lot selection was a big consideration at the onset. You wanted to find the perfect location. Describe how this fits the bill.
The location of the lot gave the rear portion of our home a southeasterly exposure to the rear. So consequently, we have quite a few windows and doors and so forth, which basically allow sunlight in, especially during the winter months. And so it means we don't have to have lights on as much. But not only that, but it does allow us to really kind of enjoy kind of almost a rural experience, yet we're right smack dab in the city. So we feel very fortunate to have the lot that we do. It also backs up onto one of the walking trails that the city of Lawrence provides for its citizens. And, you know, it's just nice to see people out and about and walking along and with dogs and kids playing. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds.
You have a